How can you say to your brother, brother, let me take that speck out of your eye when yourself fail to see the plank in your own? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your eye, and then you will be clearly to remove the speck out of your brother's eyes. Luke 23:34. Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. You know, the thing is, people don't even realize what they're doing. You know, it's just like anything else. If somebody here does something that's upsetting to me, and I don't say anything regarding what it was that you've done to make me upset, good chance you're going to do it again. And do it again, and do it again. And then you're going to do something really even much smaller than that, and then you're going to just set me off. But you know, I can point my finger at that person, but I really got to start pointing the finger at myself, because by me not being transparent with that person to begin with, what have I done? I've enabled that person to continue. And I can't do that. We can't do it with our kids. We can't even do it with our friends. If you're married, your spouse, your boyfriend, girl, whatever, you got to be transparent with that person and tell them. Because when you're being transparent with that person, you're empowering them. Because if I tell you, hey, look, what you did was upsetting, you know, then a situation may come up down the line, and that person's going to take place. You know what? The last time that I did this, Mike was upset with me. So maybe I shouldn't be doing that. You know, and that could happen with our kids, you know, setting the boundaries with people, regardless of who the person is. And it's just having that understanding, because it's a lot easier for me to point my finger at you and say, well, these are all the things you did, and this is why I'm upset with you. This is why I don't love you anymore. This is why I chose not to forgive you. But realistically, it sometimes begins with that person that I see in the mirror every day. And I got to put it on myself, because I didn't tell you how I felt to begin with. You know, it's just something that we got to keep in the back of our mind, is setting those boundaries with whoever the person is. And you know, the other thing is, you know, if I'm going to be unloving, unforgiving to you people, that's going to affect my relationship with God. And the thing is, too, if I'm upset with Jamie and I'm unforgiving towards Jamie, my relationship with Cheryl, if we're real tight buddies and things like that, it's going to affect my relationship with her too, because she's going to see something that's going on in my life. And I may not be transparent with her and say, well, this is what's bothering me. I may just pretend that, well, everything's fine. Everything's fine. But it's not, because that unforgiveness in our life, you know, it just plays such a negative effect in all of our lives. You know? So I don't know, excuse me. But going back to what I said earlier about Mike, you don't understand what I did to this person. I've upset him. You can't believe the things that I did. They're never going to forgive me. It says in Mark 9:23, if you can, said Jesus, everything is possible for him who believes. Excuse me. So if my desire is for you to forgive me, but you're still being stubborn by your unforgiveness towards me, but it's something my heart desires to have, I got to keep on praying about it. I got to just keep on praying about it, because you know it's always nice. Can someone give me a water, please? You know, if that's part of my desire, because you know what's really cool? It's being a part of a divine triangle. And what I mean is, you know, you got God up here at the throne, and then got, let's say, me over here, and I'm having this problem. God puts a burden on you, say, well, no, Mike's got this problem, and I don't know what it is, but I'm going to pray for him. So God's empowering this person to be praying for me. I'm able to work out the issue that I have. You know, it could be anything. It could be anything, whatever my issue is in my life. I'm able to get that issue resolved over here. I'm blessed by it. The other person who helped me is blessed by it, and God gets all the praise and glory from it. You know, being a part of that divine triangle is such an awesome feeling, because I've been able to experience that before in my life with other things, and there's nothing better than that. But so there's something I want to share with you guys. You can all have one of these. You can stick it on your fridge or stick it in your car, whatever it may be. I'll give you guys an opportunity for everybody to get one. I actually received this back in February from Pastor Peter Shepherd of Cross Point Church in Hooksett. I actually had two of them at the time. I was in the Atlanta airport at the end of April, and I had one of them with me. And I saw this the woman who was taking the tickets. I was trying to butter up to her because I was kind of hoping that I could get bumped so I could get a free ticket, because I had no plane. It wasn't specific as to what time I needed to be in Florida. So I'm kind of just talking with her. When I was talking with her, she had a peace pin on. And I was talking with her. She was a Christian. She loves the Lord, and she was having a bad day. I had my Bible with me, and I said, "Here," I said, "I want you to have this," because it was actually on a card and stuff. It wasn't paper like this. I just made photocopies of this. Did everybody get a chance to get one yet? I think I did. I think I really did. Yeah, she was blessed by it. She gave me a hug, so she loved it. You know, because the ultimate goal in our lives is peace. You know, how much better would our lives be if we had peace in our lives? And, you know, and I'm not talking about the peace where, it's so quiet here, I can take a nap. You know, I was online today, you know, and this little thing that I got, I just photocopied it and just tore it out. It's peace. Peace is peace. It does not mean that it's a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. You know, it's like, wow, that really spoke to me when I found that today. And you know, it meant a lot. It meant a lot to me. You know, but pursuing peace. Glorify the Lord with me, and let's exalt His name together. Not individually. We can do it individually, but together. I sought the Lord, and He answered me. He delivered me from all of my fears. You know, fears. So many of us have so many fears that prevent us from doing things. And those fears can consist of so many things, because going back to being unforgiving towards somebody, being unforgiveness is trying to build a wall. So we don't have to deal with that person, we don't have to see him, we don't have to hear him, we don't want to do anything. But, you know, as Christians, we're also supposed to be building bridges. And that should be our primary goal, is building bridges as opposed to building walls. But if we're going to build strong bridges that we can cross over, we want it to be able to carry a lot of weight and a lot of different burdens. But the thing is, we're not going to be able to construct a proper bridge if walls are hindering us. So what we need to be doing is tearing down those walls so we can build those bridges. You know, when you think about it, it's really pretty simplistic. Empathize with each other, live in harmony with one another, be sympathetic, love as brothers, be compassionate and humble. 1 Peter 3:8. You being humble with one another, too. That's, don't be boasting about what you did to help this person get over that problem, because all God was doing was using you as that vessel. That's all He was doing. Attack the problem, not the person. That's the easiest thing to do. Attacking this person because, oh, well, that's, if I'm going to be unforgiving towards a person and my attitude is, well, that's just the way they are, okay, well, that's just, if that's the case, why are they that way? Because they're either that way a positive manner or a negative manner. So if it's something negative, you got to dig down and try to find out what the problem is, as opposed to just say, well, that's just the way they are. I was in Cape Cod about a month ago, and I was helping my friend close their camp, and I was walking around the backyard, and something that, it was this metaphor that came across, that I felt God was speaking to me about, and that going back into those roots, because we either got good roots growing within us, or not so good roots with us. And I took this picture with my phone, so it's really not that clear, but those are roots from a tree. I mean, they're pretty visible, right? I mean, you can pass that picture around. But the thing is, those roots were coming from the other side of the fence where the tree was. So those roots, that tree needs to be torn down, because it started in one area of one particular yard, but unfortunately it grew into the neighbor's yard. So if I've got an unforgiving spirit, and you're hanging around with me, the fruit that you're going to bear isn't going to be good. It's going to be negative, and it's going to affect you as well. And maybe it's going to affect somebody else. Just like the positive roots within our lives affect others. It's contagious, and it grows from one place to another. I wish we could all suffer from one thing that we would probably think more of a negative aspect, but I think when it comes to unforgiveness, it would be a good thing. And that's if we could all suffer from amnesia. If we were capable of doing that, how much easier would our lives be? But the thing is, we still have control over that. Because again, God, I feel, has given us one of the greatest gifts I feel that God has given us. That's the gift of free will. How are we going to use our free will? Am I going to forgive you and love you? Or am I going to hate you and not forgive you? What's it going to be? C, cooperate with each other. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans 12:18. And going back to Romans 12:17 is repaying evil with evil. Don't repay evil with evil. Because again, that's one of the easiest things to do. And you just got to stay away from that. But I think probably why a lot of us may think that way, myself included, is why those things happen, as far as why I'm thinking about I'm going to get back at him or her. It kind of goes back to Matthew 9:4. Knowing their hearts, Jesus said, why do you entertain evil thoughts in your hearts? Well, if I got an evil thought in my heart, I am going to entertain the fact of how can I get back at this person? I had a conversation with someone probably about 3 months ago. It was about an issue that I was having with somebody